It has been a minute since we've done one of these tournament review videos, mostly because I haven't played in that many events, and the ones I have played in have been relatively mediocre, but not this one. For the first time in my journey from 6 handicap to professional golfer, I have finished an event under par. That's right, this is the first tournament I have finished under par in the last 2.5 years of this journey between average guy and pro golfer. I'm so excited. This is a big goal that we finally checked off. It was a goal I set at the very beginning of this year, and it took a little bit longer to do it than I thought it would. But we're here now, and we're going to talk about it. This was a one-day Carolina Mountain Tour event up in Clemson, South Carolina, my alma mater, place that I've spent many, many days in my life, place that I love going back to. So really, really fun to get to go back to Clemson, and not only that, but play well. Shot a 1 under par 71. We have a limited video from the tournament, so we're gonna break down the video we have first, kind of walk you through what I was thinking in these moments, and then we're gonna give an overall idea of how the event went and where we go from here. This first video you're gonna see is my third shot into a par 5, and I think it kind of just sums up how I approach the par 5s on the day. All in all, just way too conservative. This is a par 5 that, having only played here once a long, long time ago, I just really didn't know what to do with. It has a big ravine in the middle of it, and the fairway runs out at like 280 or so, but it's severely downhill. And I hit a 3-wood trying to stay in the fairway. It went over the hill into the rough anyway. But from 220 yards or 216 yards or whatever I had, I just wasn't aggressive enough. I took a 7-iron. I knew it was going to come out low because I was on a severe downslope. And I knew I was going to be short. I was playing to be short. And then this is the chip that followed. Hit it well, distance control, pretty good. Just wasn't direct enough at the pin. Just put it out too far to the right. Ended up 2-putting for par, which on most days is fine. I started really good in this tournament. I started really well. One thing I hadn't been doing well was getting off to good starts. So I'd put a real emphasis on that in my practice. And we started out with a pretty good par, and then put it to a foot on the next hole, made birdie. And then I got a chance to play the entire day under par, which I think was really big for me. Just not having had that much tournament experience, and certainly not having that much tournament experience being under par, knowing what that feels like to play in contention, to play where you want to be, and what you have to do to maintain that. It was really good experience early on in this front 9. This hole is number 8. Well, was actually hole 17. We played the back 9 first. And this is probably, if I could take one shot back all day, it would be this one right here. Which, you know, is going to seem weird after we talk about what happens later in the round. But this was probably the worst swing I made all day. It's just a simple 8-iron to this par 3. The tee is kind of back this way. And I just came out of it, just didn't commit. I should have just swung through it. Wasn't 100% with this shot, and left it short and right up here in the kind of fairway area. I hit a poor chip from there, trying to do something way too fancy, and then failed to chip in for par. So I made a bogey, which put me back to even par on the day through 8. And just disappointing. I mean, that's one where it's a stock 8-iron, 177 yards or whatever it was playing. Just hit it right at the middle of the green and be done with it. No need to try to get as creative as I did there. But bounce back birdie on the next hole, very solid. Had a 70-yard bunker shot, which we put to about 14-ish feet and made the putt for birdie. So finished the front 9 1 under, and then go into the back 9. Feeling good. I mean, obviously I'm feeling good. I'm 1 under, but I'm also a little bit worried because I do know the goals I've set for myself, and I do know this is a good opportunity to accomplish some of those goals. This is a course that sets up pretty good for me. We have good weather, body's feeling good, swing's feeling good, and in the moment I'm thinking these things like, I know this is a good opportunity. I want to take advantage of that. So that's kind of where my head is at going into number 1, which is our number 10. This next shot we see here is after another birdie on hole 2, our hole 11. They got me to 2 under on the day, And this shot I was pretty afraid of. And this is kind of where the fear started creeping in. Take this 3-wood off the tee, just find the fairway, choke down. And despite the fear, I hit it right down the middle. The next shot I hit to about 8 feet, failed to convert the birdie. But that's kind of how the day went. I just played through fear on the back 9, which I was really, really proud of. The one par 5 that I did take advantage of was this one. This shot had about 172-ish yards to the pin. It was front pin. I had a 9-iron in my hand. And the decision we had here was, do I try to hit a soft 8 or a 9 as hard as I can possibly hit a 9? I think full 9 for me is like 165, but I was on a downslope, so I knew the face was gonna lose loft essentially on the downslope, and I knew I had an elevation change that played the yardage down from what it actually was. And this is where we made a good decision and made the aggressive decision on a par 5, and I think it paid off. This is a full 9 as hard as I can hit it. I caught it about a groove low, and it just stayed in the fringe short of the green, but it was really in a great spot. Probably 15 feet for eagle on the fringe. Left that putt about a foot short and just tapped in an easy birdie. So that sent us back to 2 under because we had bogeyed a hole previous to that. And then coming down the stretch here, the next hole, we don't have video of this, thank God, but probably the biggest mistake of the day was the next hole. Fairway, green, 4.5 feet for birdie, and I walk out of there with a bogey. I mean, 4.5 feet from going 3 under, and I walk out 1 under. It just hurts, you know, looking back at it, knowing how close we were to making a check. But, you know, missed the 4-footer on a push and then got lazy and just tried to tap in the 1-footer and lipped it. You got to stay in it mentally. So lesson learned. That's never going to happen again. Just took it too casually and didn't set up properly and just slapped at it, really. So disappointing miss there. We missed another 3-footer on a par 3. There's 2 putts inside of 3 feet that I think cost us score-wise, because we do ultimately par out the last 2 holes and finish 1 under, making a real clutch 8-foot par putt on the last hole to a pretty tough pin position. Obviously, the missed putts inside of 3 feet, like that sucks, right? We don't want to see that, especially when we're trying to make a check. That's 2 shots right there. I shot 71. If you wanted to make a check in this tournament, you had to shoot 69. There's my 2 shots. You make 2 putts inside of 3 feet, and we make the check. The good news from all of this, though, is that we're not close. We're there. I'm right there. This is not some talent issue. It's not something other than just missing 2 short putts. It's an easy fix, and I'm really excited that I played as well as I did for the whole round. Only 1 shot I really wanted back, and like I said, those 2 putts that cost us. But overall, I'm super excited. It was fun to get to go back to Clemson. It's always a good time up there, and Kat and I had a good time. And I think one thing mentally that was a real big positive from this tournament as well was this mindset of neutrality that Kat helped me kind of work through in this event. One of the guys that I played with was actually a D1 player. He played for Clemson. And then the other guy was a guy who had Mondayed into a few PGA events. So, I mean, he's been in the show. He's been there, done that, seen the greatest players in the world. And so I really wanted to go into this tournament with this idea of just being neutral to them. Something the Cat suggested, and just I'm not better, I'm not worse, we're just neutral. And I think that was a huge, huge moment for me, just to see myself playing alongside these guys, step for step, right in stride, competing at 2 under at multiple points in the round with a chance to go to 3 under, was a lot of fun and really relieving. So ultimately, a lot of positive takeaways from this tournament. I don't know when my next event will be. We got a pretty busy next couple of months here. At the end of October, in just a few days, Kat and I are getting married, so we have the wedding coming up, and then after that, in November, we have a big trip planned for a honeymoon. So that kind of takes me out of the competitive atmosphere for the time being. So I'm kind of treating this next 2 months as the off season. And hopefully we can play an event in December, because we still have one huge goal that we set at the beginning of this year that I want another chance to accomplish. We've gotten close twice now to making our first check as a professional golfer. This is a huge step in the right direction. We checked off a massive goal for this year, which was to finish a tournament under par. And the next big step is to earn that check. So hopefully we get one more shot at it before the year runs out. Otherwise, thank you for following along. I mean, truly, this has been a lot of fun. We're 2.5 years into this. And for the first time, I feel like I can really see a future in this and believe it. I can see myself playing well enough to make a check and make this viable. I can see myself playing well enough to hang around and eventually compete and win these tournaments. The swing changes we've made, the mental changes that are going on, it's starting to come together. So keep riding with me. And if you are new to the journey, or if you know someone who would like to be a part of this, again, our message is just that dreams aren't dead. And we got to do things that scare us and chase those dreams. So share it with somebody who you think can use that message or would like the journey, and I'll see you guys in the next one.